which Lions players under the most pressure in 2023? And Jeff Risdon, the great Jeff Risdon, came out with an article on Lions Wire and talked about, the one player from each NFL team under the most pressure. And for the Lions, to no one's surprise, is Mr. Jameson Williams, the first-round pick last season. And he writes, and I'll read this off. He says, it's not easy for fans to embrace Williams. The number 12 overall pick in the 2022 NFL draft caught exactly one pass as a rookie, missing more than half the season recovering from knee surgery. This offseason, he's already suspended for the first 6 games for violating the NFL's gambling policy. Williams clearly has talent and could make a big impact as soon as he gets back on the field. However, if he doesn't, expect Williams to join the wrong side of Detroit versus everybody in the equation to both the fan base and perhaps some teammates too. Now, I'll ask the chat, who's under the most pressure in 2023? And I put a poll up and added Aiden and Jared Goff in there. And Aiden, not 3% of the votes. Jameson Williams, 42% of the votes. And leading, 56% is Jared Goff. Now I'll ask you, Sam Flan, I'll go last. Who's under the most pressure in this upcoming season for the Lions?
This answer should be 100%. Of course it's Jameson Williams. Here's the thing, and this is what I kind of don't understand a lot about like some of the Detroit Lions fans, or even some of these people at this room, some of these people even on this very show, maybe even somebody sitting to my right, or in the technical director booth. I'll get to you guys later. Why is there's not this demand that Jameson Williams 100% has to produce? And not just that, it's this idea that he has already produced when, in my view, and I think objectively, and even this write-up says it, he had 1 catch last year and 1 carry. As I like to quote or paraphrase, remember the Titans, you guys act like he's done something, man, he ain't done nothing, man. And that's the thing.
I hate you, bro.
I'll give you your time, Lucas Kotz, so that you can
making
respond.
me laugh,
I'm sure, but that's the thing. Jameson Williams. Here's something that I believe to be true. I can't say it's an objective fact. Last year, I get it, Jameson Williams was hurt. We all accounted for that. And then coming into this year, he has a 6-game gambling suspension. The rules were a little bit murky, but regardless, he's going to miss 6 games. I would argue, and I'm not saying that this guy is a star or anything, if the Lions would have took Jordan Davis, they might have been in the playoffs last year. I'm not saying Jordan Davis was anything special, but he might have been just another rotational piece in the interior of the defensive line that might have, I don't know, made Seattle punt once, or held the Carolina Panthers to under 300 yards rushing. Maybe he would have helped with that. They also could have taken Kyle Hamilton. They passed on him. I know they got Kirby Joseph later, but Kyle Hamilton, I know you guys all think he's a bum now because you didn't want him at 2, but Kyle Hamilton, believe it or not, and I know a lot of you guys don't know this, was the number 1 highest rated safety according to PFF. And you can take PFF with a grain of salt, but I'm not just gonna poo-poo that for sure. Or you could have even taken a wide receiver that could have contributed right away in Jahan Dotson, who missed a lot of the season with injury, and I don't think has the talent of Jameson Williams, but I think he would have contributed to this offense right away. There's no demand for Jameson Williams to produce, but in my opinion, in order to validate that number 12 overall pick, especially if you lose some of the games in your first 6, if you get like outscored by Kansas City and you think to yourself, man, they could have used an explosive element. Man, I wish we had Jameson Williams. Oops, he got himself suspended again. I think he has to go. He owes it to the fans to come out and ball out, because so far, y'all acting like he's done something. Man, he ain't done nothing, man. Nothing.